a menzumara, mamma mia, mamma ridare. Figlia mia, cosa dare, mamma mia, pensaccia tu.
What's going on, everybody? You're listening to the Baseball Goombas. Today's May 15th, 2018. This is podcast number 10.
Double digits.
We made it to 10, guys. We made it to 10. John Goomba here with Chris Goomba.
Chris Goomba.
Sounds of Lou Monte, a little lazy Mary kicking us off there. What is he, like the seventh inning of every Mets game?
He wrote that song about the seventh inning stretch.
For the New York Mets.
For the New York Mets. That's what he wrote that song for.
For the t-shirt
For
toss.
the t-shirt launch. Today, ladies and gentlemen,
off the beaten path,
we are switching things up this go around. We are going to back away a bit from both New York squads. We're going to talk about the Philadelphia Phillies and the Atlanta Braves.
coming out of nowhere, both squads.
Two upstart, young, and fierce
Coming from the
squads.
basement. Coming from the basement.
However, before we get into that, I just want to say a little something about Giancarlo Stanton and the Yankees that I read. So Stanton, as everybody knows, he was with the Marlins for 7.5 years. He came over this year in the offseason. Yes, yeah, Michael Stanton. His best record was 80 and 82. He spent 6 total days alone in first place, all by half game.
Jeez.
May 9th, with the Yanks beating Boston, Stanton finally stood a full game in first place in his entire career.
That's why he wanted to go to a contender.
So he's motivated, hungry as ever. I thought that was pretty cool.
He's tired of losing.
And it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
The Yankees are still hot. Called up Clint Frazier today. Down goes David Hale.
Yeah.
Just an extra position player with the Nationals. The Yankees playing the Nationals in NL Park, so NL rules apply.
Yeah.
And they got Jory and Bird on the way up, hopefully soon. Well, I don't know about Bird, but so we'll see.
But let Bird get through a couple weeks.
Yeah, we'll see how
before you bring him up and you change up everything before he gets hurt again.
But so let's jump into the Philadelphia Phillies first.
Yeah.
With their rookie manager Gabe Kapler. They started a little shaky.
Yeah, 1-4 with all the bullpen issues with Kapler. Players not warmed up. He's taking his ace out after 5 innings with a low pitch count, blowing the lead. But since then, they've gone 22-12, and they're sitting there at second place, game and a half behind the Braves, who just as surprising.
Right. With the Phillies, they look like contenders one week and then pretenders the next week.
I agree. That's exactly what they look like.
The rotation has, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, Nola has been.
Aaron Nola is.
We've been liking him kind of like the showman. Hey, we knew this guy had a lot of promise, but 6-1 with a 1.99. I was not expecting that. I was expecting maybe this guy to be like career like 2-star. I wasn't expecting like dominant numbers like he's put up right now.
He's pitching like a bona fide ace.
Without blowaway stuff
unhittable.
either. He's really not. He's not really a big strikeout guy, but he's limiting his walks like 2 per 9 innings, which is that's what you want out of it.
Yeah, couple that with their acquisition Jake Arrieta. He's pitching like an ace again.
Yeah, he's being Jake Arrieta.
He's 3-1 with a 2.59 ERA, and those dueling aces. They have to the supplemental pieces behind them.
Similar to the Mets staff, where you had DeGrom and Syndergaard up top, but you can't be a two man show here.
No,
and you need 3, 4, and 5 to step
up.
It's
very similar to the Mets,
but the Phillies 3, 4, 5 have not stepped up. It's very similar with the ERAs.
We spoke about Vincent Velasquez, a couple podcasts ago. If he can shake the injury bug, he can be productive at times. He's got to cut down on his walks. He's just coming off the last 2 starts. His 2 best starts of the season. The first start, 5 innings pitched, 1 run, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts.
He walks a lot of guys.
And then his previous start, 6 innings, 3 runs, and 12 strikeouts. So he's coming off two nice starts. He's got to keep that up.
So can I tell you what I just saw that broke about 2 hours ago about Mr. Velasquez? I wanted to wait till we got onto the podcast. So it was on Philly.
Hit me. John Goomba, because I have not seen this. So enlighten me.
I saw PhillyVoice.com. I wasn't too familiar with the website, but I did see Bill Bear, NBC Sports, put an article out about this as well. So last season, we went on the 10-day DL because of a middle finger injury. It turns out during the offseason, he had thoracic outlet surgery, and the Phillies did not tell a soul. And this just came out. Like, he had surgery, they took out a rib, and nobody knew until a couple hours ago.
I just found out right now.
I think that's a lot. I just thought that was very shady on the Phillies' part to tell nobody.
Wow, I did
Not even the fans, writers, or anything. But they talked to Velasquez, and I thought this was funny. He said, "I had that surgery this offseason. That surgery,
like it was nothing.
I had that thoracic outlet syndrome.
I had that thing. He had that thing, whatever you call it.
Yeah, but he goes, but it wasn't really labeled thoracic outlet syndrome. They removed my first rib, but whatever." I just thought it was interesting how really they just told nobody, and for somebody
about downplaying everything,
who's been struggling. I mean, he's 3-4 this year with a 5.05. I know you just said he had a couple good starts, but
he has been struggling.
This is something that the baseball world needs to know. I just thought that was shady.
Yeah, no, it's.
How do you fly that under the radar?
Yeah, no, but that, and again, that makes it all all the more respectable. More if he overcomes this whole thing. And
Matt Harvey didn't. Yet. But they said they say that like with Harvey, it's a 2-year recovery. So the fact that he had it in the offseason, if he's got an ERA of I mean it's 5 now, but if it shoots up to 7, you might be thinking this guy's done. But it's a 2-year recovery. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting and odd.
Listen, if he could be what he is right now, and right now he's the third guy.
Yeah.
If he can 12-10. Mid-4, low-4 ERA.
Yeah,
they got to worry about 4 and 5 between Pivetta.
I like Dick Pivetta.
He's okay.
He's okay. But he's where he should be, 4-5.
4-5.
And Ben Lively.
Eflin.
Eflin.
I mean, these guys can show for a start or two, but I think it's going to be the Achilles heel with the Phillies. In order to stay within striking distance.
Between Pivetta, Lively's never really impressed me. Eflin, he's had appearances, but I saw in AAA this guy Eniel De Los Santo. He's 4-0 with a .85. So I don't know. Maybe you give this guy. I mean, what do you have to lose to give this guy a little spot start? I never really heard of him. I don't think he's really one of their major prospects. But I mean, while he's hot. Maybe get a start out. Kind of like I was talking about with Josh Rogers with the Yankees. Throw him in there. Get a good spot start.
As far as the lineup, it's when you look at it, it's nothing that strikes you as lighting the world on fire.
No.
You got Cesar Hernandez, who's he's
underrated though. He's good.
To me, he is good. He goes up there and he slashes doubles and singles. Doesn't hit for much power, but he's got he'll 310 batting average.
I like him.
He's he's alright. You got he's MVP Abdul Herrera, who's slashing like 360.
He's an electric ball player. He's 360, 430. I mean, he robbed a home run out of Bush.
Yeah, no, he's an above average outfielder.
Unique swing too.
Far and away, he's the best player.
I mean, who knew? This guy coming up, I don't remember ever seeing this guy trying to be a number 3 hitter for a major league ball club, but he's really...
The strikeouts this season have dipped for him. The walks have gone up.
He's got pop, too.
And, 6 home runs?
Yeah, around there.
24 ribbies, I believe. And he's reached base, I think, in 41, 42, 40-plus straight games he's reached base. That's pretty...
He's definitely
that's wild.
Yeah.
But
wild, eh?
I love Hoskins, Rhys Hoskins.
So Rhys Hoskins,
he's not. I don't want to say regressing because he just came up.
You know what he's doing right now?
Surge. He's trying to find his way.
He's doing just enough to show that last year wasn't a fluke.
No, and I don't think it was just a fluke
either. I mean, he had 18 home runs in his first 34 games. He's got ridiculous. You can't expect that.
Yeah, he's got 5 right now.
268. He's doing enough to show you that he's still a ball player where he's not 200 and can handle it anymore.
Again, I definitely don't think last year was a fluke. I think he's the real deal. I really like him.
Oh, he's gonna be in that lineup for a long time.
I think he's a centerpiece in that lineup, like you just said, for foreseeable future. He just takes some time. The other guys are picking up slack. Maikel Franco had a pretty awful season last year,
and I was worried about that because he was supposed to be the 3-hitter of the future.
He was supposed to be the masher in that lineup.
Franco, Miguel Sano, same type of mashing, exactly.
So he's rebounded quite nicely so far this season. He's batting .274. He's got 7 home runs and almost 30 ribbies. Yeah. He's got 28 RBIs.
They need that in that lineup.
They need him to be Maikel Franco again. So it's nice to see that. And what's pretty surprising, I should say, is Kingery.
He's young.
I'm
still excited. I'm still excited for Scott Kingery baseball.
He'll be great, but boy, has he been underwhelming to start the season. Nobody, not to start anybody, predicted or could have dreamed of. He's batting like 220. When J.P. Crawford went on the DL, they thought, finally he'll get going, and it hasn't really been the case.
No.
He'll go 1 for 3, 0 for 4. He's not really stealing any bases. I believe he's got 4 stolen bases. So he's not taking advantage of the speed. So, I guess he's getting his feet wet. He's learning the pitching staffs, and I'm sure he'll be okay in the long run. But
I agree. I was expecting a little more out of him, but I mean, he still is young.
The same thing with J.P. Crawford.
It's still, if J.P. was doing even worse. J.P.'s actually been struggling at the major league level. So, I mean, it's good tonight. It's nice to have Kingery in there in case J.P. does continue to struggle.
Yeah. Your fantasy boy Carlos Santana. Yeah, he's coming around. He's coming around.
I'm leaving him in there. He's gonna come around eventually.
John Goombas' starting boy in his fantasy squad.
Make a run.
But he started pretty awfully, and
they need him to turn it around.
He's been hitting recently.
I mean, he had 259 his last 2 years in Cleveland. He's hitting 196 now with 7 home runs, 27 ribs. The ribs are nice, 27 ribs, but I mean, you got to get back up to that 250 mark. If you're going to have 30 home runs, you need Carlos Santana to hit you 250.
Yeah, no. What I think is definitely going to be a thorn in their side, and if they're still in this race, come the trading deadline, they need to do something about this catching situation, because between Alfaro and Knapp,
get Knapp back.
They're not producing the way.
I still like Alfaro. I know he was a very high prospect with the Rangers. Like they were, he was part of the Hamels trade, I believe. He was one of the larger prospects. So I'm a little disappointed to see how he's turned out. But I still like him over Knapp.
Oh, Knapp, come on.
I mean, honestly, Major League Baseball, catcher is struggling all over the place. Yeah. And it really is. It's what it's become. Everybody struggles for good catching now.
But again, if they're still in this race, they're gonna have to do something about that position. Mm-hmm. And I don't. If they think they're serious about contending, I don't think those two guys can keep doing what they're doing and not lose ball games.
No.
And then there's the bullpen, which Neris. He's been a little shaky.
Nice little loss against the Mets. Take that.
Yeah. They got a couple of young guys in the bullpen, and if they can keep afloat, Phillies, I think they can be in the race until about August.
Yeah.
Or so. September.
Yeah.
Man, September might be pushing it in my eyes.
So, but what I did notice, which I kind of liked, is key free agents for the Phillies at the end of the year. None. They have all these young kids. They have a couple arbitrations to settle, but they're a young team, and their big contracts are Arrieta, Santana, and Herrera, and those are your long-term vets. So it's a young team. So I mean,
and they chose Kapler to ride out the wave here.
What I'm nervous about for the Phillies, which I don't see in the Braves system, is what's in the pipeline. They have three players in the MLB top 100. You have Sixto Sanchez, who's 25th overall. A-ball, he's not ready. Adonis Medina, A-ball, he's not ready. Adam Hazley, the outfielder, A-ball, he's not ready. So you got these three guys on top 100. Nobody's ready. The closest guy that I want to see come up this year, because I feel like, Nick Williams and Aaron Alter in right field. Right, like, first of all, they're the same guy. They're literally the same player. I don't see a difference.
Out there, struggled this year. He played pretty well, pretty decently last year.
But I mean, what I see in their system is Big Daddy Dylan Cousins, who's played mainly right field for them. And I looked at some of his numbers in 2016 AA, 276, 40 home runs, 125 ribs. 125 ribs and 40 home runs from Big Dylan Cousins. Then he went up to AAA last year, 27 home runs, 75 ribs, but he had a 210 average. So obviously he's still there this year. He got it up to 250. He's got 7 home runs and 18 ribs. But if this guy can come up and hit a little 250 and have that kind of 40 home run pop, you're looking at little Ryan Howard in right field all over again. He's going to strike out 200 times, but I want to see
a couple of that with Hoskins, and
I want to see some Dylan Cousins coming
40 right there.
Get you some runs. This guy can put up 30 plus home runs, 100 ribs, but I mean, take your K's like he did with Ryan Howard. But I mean, I feel like Dylan Cousins is your closest thing to coming up, but I think
it's a ways away.
The Braves system is much better.
The Braves. Speaking of the Braves, like I said, I think Philadelphia can withstand, up until the trade deadline if they get some pieces.
I could see them slipping into third or fourth. Maybe the Mets slip past them because I'm losing a little faith in my Mets here.
Mets not looking too swift.
No,
but they can keep at it until August, and I think Atlanta, on the other hand, talk about a team.
I think they're just going to run away.
That can sustain what they're doing right now is the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
I mean, they're taking MLB by storm right now. They're hot, young, fierce, relentless, 40 games in. And they show no signs of slowing down.
The hitting has been incredible.
It's unbelievable.
They're first in baseball on average.
Their owners are the best record in the National League, now. 25 and 15.
Tied for first with the Yankees with on-base percentage. First in hits, second in runs, second in stolen bases. They just manufacture runs.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fascinating and captivating to watch this team right now. And I think it looks like they arrived about 1 or 2 years early. And I was
expecting. We said it like in our first podcast. Braves aren't there yet.
No,
give them a year or two, and here comes.
They're just proving everybody wrong right now.
Young kids are like, "Hey, I've been ready."
Yeah, they're scoring runs, incredible rate. The pitching is rounding into form, so everything is just kind of coming together for this team right now. And as you just said, they're leading the National League in pretty much like everything.
Yeah,
you got Freeman leads with on base percentage 432. Markakis in age 34 season,
ageless wonder over here,
leads in hits with 56. You got Albies.
How does he have 56? How does he have 56 hits already?
Hits 3 hits 3 for 4.
He does
3 for 5
every time
game.
I look up.
Every
doubles.
ball game 3 for 5. Albies leads in home runs with tied with home runs 13. Doubles with 14 and total bases 104.
Ozzie Albies.
I mean, that's been my boy since day one. I love Ozzie Albies.
I know
He's turning into a superstar right now, and we all knew he was good, but this damn good.
Nah, exactly.
I mean, it's got to be a surprise. Like 1 or 2 in NL MVP votes right now. They scouted him as average at best power. He's never really hit the long ball.
13.
He's got 13 home runs right now. 154 games last year between AAA and the majors. 15 home runs. And now he has 13 already.
Yeah.
Is this sustainable? Who knows?
It could be a lot of... I mean, I remember last year, Bulls were flying out of Atlanta.
Yeah.
So it could be a lot of the stadium.
But,
I mean, regardless...
regardless of anything, I mean, Albies is showing he's the real deal. Overall, 277, 49 hits, 31 ribbies, 5 stolen bases, so he's definitely got 38
runs
potential.
I'm telling you, these guys score.
It's possible that he's a 30-30 guy.
Could be. Very easily.
I mean, the Braves got to love this blossom, what he's doing right now.
I think he needs to pick up the stolen bases. He's only got 5, I believe. But, no, he's definitely got the speed. He's definitely apparently has the power now, so... Ozzie's really been impressive.
It's incredible, and again, it is mid-May, and this narrative, that it can cease. It's still early. They may well, go on a losing streak or suffer, God forbid, injuries here and there.
But the way they're
right now,
they're
competing right now, and that's all that matters. And it's Acuna.
Yeah,
I mean, he's making his presence felt already.
He wasn't shy about his major league debut.
Nah, he's just providing another dynamic and spark to Atlanta, and all these kids they're going they're playing ball right now and they're loving it.
Yeah.
What's been impressive the most, aside from these kids, is the ageless wonder Markakis.
Yeah.
Career year. He's 34 years old.
Markakis.
He's batting 346. 7 home runs, 30 RBIs.
I saw that. So what I was actually, I've been arguing with our friends over this. So right now, career 2,106 hits. At the end of this year, say he falls around 2,200.
At this rate,
he's going to be 34 years old at the end. He'll still be 34 at the end of this year. So 34 years old with 2,200 hits. Does he get 3,000? I mean, a guy never gets less than 160 hits a year. I know you expect somebody to dwindle away, but he's not. He's in 350. He's got the potential to bet 3,000. And then really, is Nick Markakis a Hall of Famer? You're gonna vote Nick Markakis in? It just seems a little. The guy's he's never even been an All-Star. He's gonna have 2,200 hits at the end of this year. It's crazy. He's always. I've always like, even with the Orioles, he was just like
he's a good baseball player.
He just doubles. He just does his own thing.
He's a career 289 hitter.
Yeah, he just gets it done. 180 hits, 160 hits every year. He stays healthy. Besides, I think 1 year he got hurt.
That's what I was gonna say. He stays healthy. Again, he can play. He can play ball. Mm-hmm. He always has, obviously, by his track record and his history. But this year he's playing above his head, and it's 346.
Yeah,
I mean that's crazy. And that's great for him. And as far as the 3,000 hits, I'm gonna say it's if he
maybe he'll fall on 2,800, 2,700
if he stays healthy.
But
can he do this?
I'm gonna keep my eye on it. I'll tell you that.
Can he do what he's doing this season? Again next year, and the year after that.
Just keep getting 150 hits.
So it's
the
a
next
valid
couple
question.
Years,
We'll
off the bench,
definitely keep an eye on Nick Markakis. But when you hear Nick Markakis, do you think 3,000 hits? Do you think Hall of Fame?
No,
Absolutely
you don't.
not.
No.
And that's not a knock to Nick.
That's going to be a lot of fun in 2 years from now when he cracks 2,500 and everybody's like, are we really going to have to vote Nick Markakis, the 0-time All-Star, into the whole? That'd be a hell of a story.
Well, he's on his way to his first time being an All-Star this season. So you got Freeman. Obviously,
there's no weak spots. Oh, there's not many weak spots. I should say that. But
Freeman, he's returning to his MVP form after the bad injury last year. Mm-hmm. He's what he's about. He hits.
Yeah, he always will.
Day in and day out.
He hits. Yeah, it's lefties too.
You got a spare player, a spare part, Ryan Flaherty. He's playing better than anyone expected.
He's been playing.
He's a career 222 hitter,
and he's hitting 296.
I saw 293 with 99 at bats.
So the first 18 games he was hitting 362. I saw the last 12 he's hitting around 200. So
crashing back to earth a little bit.
He's becoming Ryan Flaherty again, but I feel like.
But when they needed Ryan Flaherty to step up to the plate, that's exactly what he was doing.
I feel like that's one of your weaker spots, if any.
With a weak spot, if there is a weak spot, it's when they signed Jose Bautista.
Yeah, what is that?
Listen,
stop. You got all these kids. You don't need Bautista.
We had tweeted out on our Twitter at We Are the Goombas.
There it is.
We had tweeted out when Atlanta signed Jose Bautista. We were wondering, how much does he have left in the tank?
None.
And two, if these Atlanta fans, how do they feel about bringing in Bautista, this old guy, with all the new sensation going around this team? How is that going to play out?
Yeah.
And he's Jose Bautista. Yesterday or 2 days ago, I think it was Sunday, yesterday. I'm sorry. He hit the go-ahead home run against the Cubs. So now you got Jose Bautista contributing, hitting important home runs. Will that continue? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
But all of a sudden he's helping too. So you had Ryan Flaherty obviously crashing back to earth, but you needed Ryan Flaherty to play over his head. He was. Mm-hmm. You need Jose Bautista to give some kind of production from playing third base, and he's got 2 home runs, so he's doing something.
Yeah,
but
he's filling the hole.
You
go around the field real quick. You have Freeman, Ozzie, Swanson's on the 10-day DL with the wrist, but he's actually
and they're doing this without Swanson.
He's going to be ready by the end of the week. And let me remind everybody, as I go around the horn here, they got Swanson in the Shelby Miller deal, which is going down as one of the worst trades in history.
Shelby Miller.
But they also got Ender Inciarte in that deal.
He's very underrated.
First of all, Ender Inciarte.
He's almost got 20 stolen bags already.
He
hits.
He's a Gold Glover. He steals bases constantly. He's electric at the top of the lineup. So you have Acuna now, Inciarte, the 2-time Gold Glover, and Markakis, the ageless wonder in the outfield. This is an electric team.
Yeah, no, I mean, he can hit. He can hit.
Earlier this year, they were playing the Nationals in the 10th inning, and he walked. He stole second. He stole third. And they got thrown out trying to steal home. But that's how electric he got thrown out. But he almost stole the entire field for the win. But
everything is going right.
He's aggressive.
Everything is going right for this Atlanta ball club.
Yeah.
And let's us not forget that the pitching has rounded into form. They're no slouch right now.
Shawnee Newcomb.
It's like, you know, everybody thinks about the run scoring production from the lineup, but it's also been the pitching that has assisted this team in becoming, you know, the Atlanta Braves of 2018. Teheran, however you say his name.
Teheran?
Yeah, whatever.
Solarte.
Solarte. Okay, anyway. He's 4-1 with a 3.49 in 9 starts. He's finally got some support after him.
Yeah.
Sean Newcomb, woo boy.
From the Angels from the Simmons deal.
Yeah, that was the centerpiece in the Simmons trade.
Yeah.
He's 4-1, 2.51 in 8 starts.
Yep.
He's reined in his walks from last year. He's less wild, and he's been dazzling
54
recently.
54 Ks in 46 innings is nice.
He's a star in the making.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a nice number 2, and I don't think it's out of the question that he can, you know, become the ace in the number 1 hole.
I don't disagree at all.
You got Mike Folty. He's
Folty.
He's a
Foltnavich.
He's a nice piece.
So far,
it's not.
I wasn't expecting that, but he's been
nothing flashy about Mike.
No,
he's 3-2, 3.21. The one thing about him, he's a middle of the rotation guy.
Yeah.
But he needs to go deeper into ball games. 4 innings, 5 innings, 6 innings a match. I don't think he's ever pitched.
Can't be doing that in the 3 as a 3 starter. You going to do it in the 5?
He needs to go deeper into games.
Yeah, you got to go 6, 7.
But
give me 6.
6 is nice.
Give me
6 is nice. But there has been numerous starts where he's going 5 innings.
Yeah.
You got top prospect Soroka.
Oh yeah, Mike Soroka, whatever. How do you
he's flashing.
Yeah.
It's, you know, they actually have what's been biting them recently the past couple of seasons is not having a stable rotation, and this season it's coming together just like everything else, and it's all working. And right now, for me, it's shades of the Cubs.
Yeah. No, it really is. It really is.
All these young talent, and all the young talent is panning out, coming together.
All the hitting's up, and now in the pipeline, you see like 8 of their top 10 prospects are pitchers. And I think the next guy you're really going to see up is Kobe Allard.
Yeah,
he's
a call away.
He's going to be up within, I think, a week or 2. So he's ready.
You have young studs in this rotation that can be, pretty dominant years to come. And the bullpen, if they want to stay in contention, they need to continue to get the production they're getting out of the bullpen right now, which hasn't been flashy. But it's working.
Only question mark with the bullpen is that they're leading baseball in walks. They've given up 175, most given up. But other than that, they're top 10 in ERA, Ks, so they're doing other things, but you don't want those walks to hurt you on the wall.
This guy, he's proven to be a solid, if not spectacular closer. And you got AJ Minter with a huge arm who can, fill in and maybe step in as closer. It's not an ideal bullpen of a contender. No. But right now, everything, like we mentioned 10 times over, everything's working for this team right now.
Who knows? Because we've seen it. I know the Astros won the World Series, but you see what a struggling bullpen can do in the play. Like bullpens are massive in the playoffs, and you just can't struggle. Nah. But towards the end of the year, you don't know. Like maybe 3 or 4 of these kids are up anchoring that bullpen down, and they're gonna be starters. But Adam Wainwright for the Cardinals in 06. These guys just come up and really fill that bullpen. So you don't know down the road if they're going to have that same type of.
I don't. Can you get by with Peter Moylan, Jesse Biddle,
the pharmaceutical rep?
Sam Freeman, who actually I've seen this guy Sam Freeman. He's allowed no hits to left-handed batters so far this season.
Wow.
But again, if they're still in contention, which I strongly believe they will be, they're going to be buyers at the deadline. Yeah. I don't think they're going to go too crazy with
but they have
making
stuff to
deals.
give.
They have stuff to give.
They have stuff to give. But I don't think they have to give that much.
No, they have right now. They have Austin Riley.
I'm all about Austin Riley. So Austin Riley is when I was talking about weak players. Flaherty is your weakest spot at third base, but you got Austin Riley, who's potentially
coming up.
He's going to be like a 280, 15 home run type of guy, but he's hitting 345 right now in AAA. He just had a 3 home run game where he had with 8 RBIs because he hit a grand slam. He's just going to take over that. When Flaherty really crashes back down to reality and starts hitting below 250. Riley, I mean, he's what I just say. He's hitting 350, 345. He's going to be up.
You got him too. So again, they don't have much need right now.
No.
But I think if they were to become buyers at the deadline, maybe a Kelvin Herrera of KC if KC becomes sellers.
See, you're talking about bullpen again. That's a huge piece.
That's
scary.
No, Kelvin. Listen, Kelvin. He'll have his meltdowns every now and again, but he is a stable ninth inning guy, and he could be an eighth inning guy for a team that has a closer already.
World Series winner, champion.
He's to me he's very underappreciated.
Yeah, it's because where he is.
So again, if KC becomes sellers, what makes them not go out and try to push for Herrera? I think it'd be a wonderful piece for that bullpen. Vizcaíno, Minter, and Herrera. That's three hard throwing guys that can propel this team even further than what they're playing with right now. So it's incredible and pretty fun to see. Yeah. And they got all the tools and talent to stay afloat throughout the season. And for years to come.
Yeah.
So for following years to come.
So when you
look out, Mets.
I know. When you look at the future, key free agents at the end of 18. Like I just said, Phillies had none, but the Braves have Big Nick Markakis. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Kurt Suzuki, who's actually, he's been filling the role. That's a nice catcher. He's a doubles guy, 273 with pop. You have McCarthy, but who cares? Big deal.
McCarthy.
With all these pitchers coming up, who cares? Good riddance. And Flaherty, which you're not going to fill that. You're going to fill that back in unless you want him on the bench. But Riley's coming up, so you really don't need it. So your big hole to fill in the future years is Markakis, and honestly, you could just re-sign him. If you really wanted, you could just re-sign him for a year at a time.
Markakis is a good veteran to have in the clubhouse with with all these young studs. I think he's an important piece for Atlanta.
He's healthy and he's consistent. If when you have all these young kids around it, there's nothing wrong with having that veteran. He's a fine ball player.
Markakis to Atlanta, it's kind of like Votto, Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. Votto is a veteran. He hits. And he takes guys, under his wing, shows the ropes, and I think Markakis is going to become that guy if he hasn't already. Yeah. So, of course, I think they got to re-sign him, and I think they will. And kudos to Snitker.
Snitker, man.
Who
Rally
saw
the troops?
Who saw this coming from this guy?
Seriously.
One,
he's got a lot of help. He's like Joe Madden jumping ship from Tampa.
One had no idea who he was.
He was like a bench coach, wasn't he? He was always. I remember when I used to just when I was at Mickens, I just see him. Oh, there's that guy Snitker. But I really, I didn't really think he was going to be managing a first place ball club anytime soon. But I really didn't know much about him either. I just remember seeing him on the field.
Yeah, no, hats off to him. And like you said, he's got a lot of help and he's got a lot of talent to work with. And we'll see if they can withstand the tremors of the baseball season.
Hopefully not for the Mets' sake.
Like I said before, the Mets, they got to watch out.
They do.
They are playing quite bad right now, and again, the Nationals are coming into form.
You're one game over 500. You're 4.5. You're 19 and 18 now, and right now they're in a rain delay for the Blue Jays game. But
no, the Mets definitely have to look out for
after that start to be one
Philadelphia,
game over.
Atlanta, and even Washington right now.
Washington passed them.
And if they don't start playing like they did in the beginning of the season, I don't think it's out of question that Miami's going to swing by them.
Well, definitely. If they keep playing like this, you're guaranteed fourth, or maybe even fifth. There's no way you're going to be a top 3 team with the Braves, Phillies, and Nats in this division. No shot.
Real quick, one last thing before we sign off. Want to get John Goombas' opinion on the Cespedes thing that is happening daily with the Mets.
Basically where he's clearly grimacing every time he takes a stride, clearly in severe pain with his quads, and they're saying it's not the time to put him on the DL because the lineup needs him or something along those lines. I think it's ridiculous. It's still May. You need this guy. You need him.
If they do, like I said, if they do want to play like they were in the beginning of the season, you need Cespedes to be Yoenis Cespedes.
They're kind of contradicting themselves where they say they need this guy to play, but yet they're being very cautious with DeGrom and his arm where they skipped his start, and then he threw the 40+ plus pitch inning the first inning the other day, and they took him out of the game. So they're treating DeGrom very cautiously, which I like, but they're doing the complete opposite with Cespedes. They're literally just saying, "Hey,
strange,
just go run through the wall for us, please."
Very strange.
No, I don't like it. I will say that Cespedes continues. I feel like every month it's something with his legs. There's just always something with his legs. So I mean, maybe they just like, listen, there's nothing. What are you gonna do? Rest and then hurt it again with a week you come back? I don't know. But I mean, it feels like there's always something going on with his legs, whether it's hamstrings or quads or something. But no, I think you should just 10-day DL, let him stretch it out, and just get back,
become healthy.
Yeah,
and hopefully they can get back.
So no, I don't like it, Chris Goomba.
Well, I appreciate your honesty there, John Goomba. And that'll do it for this week's episode. As always, thanks for listening. Tune in to next week's episode. As always, subscribe to our YouTube channel, our iTunes, our SoundCloud, and please give the Goombas a follow on our Twitter at WeAreTheGoombas.
Hey.
Goombas gone. Salud.
Arrivederci.